Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are checking out chapters 34 and 35 of Tower of God Season 2, and we finished off the test that we had before because Uruk kind of threw a wrench in that one a little bit, but then also kind of helped them pass because they did get the flower because of him. So like, I don't know, like, he did hurt Bomb quite a bit too, so again, trying to remember that so that I don't get charmed by him, okay? I don't want to like him yet. But we didn't get the little message at the end of the last chapter saying that the final test was completed or over or whatever, so I'm assuming that we're going to stick with that storyline still. We're not going to shift to a different test or catch up with one of the other storylines that are kind of out there, potentially out there. So I'm assuming we're still just going to carry on with some of the aftermath of the previous test because again, people did get hurt, so we'll see what happens. Mostly I'm just worried, I feel like, because we had some stuff going on with Foog, we had some stuff now going on with Uruk and mentions of Lady Yuri. I feel like there are lots of pieces moving right now. I don't know what the game is, right? I can't see the full board to figure out what's going on. I just know that there are things going on. We're going to see what this aftermath is, how people are kind of recovering after the test, and specifically how Bomb is feeling, not only because he was the one that got injured, but also he's got a lot of stuff going on, and people like Wangnan and Akraptor viewing him a lot differently now that they know more about his motivation and how he has these friends that he's trying to protect and all that stuff. So I feel like we're going to see the dynamic of the team shift a little bit after what went down in the test and right before the test. So let's get into chapter 34. So are we recovering, hopefully? I don't know how I feel about him being part of this. He puts me on edge, okay? Anyone who shifts so quickly between sinister and then cheerful, I don't trust them. It's not even that I know that he's part of Foog. That too, but mostly it's just that rapid shift. Never trust it. I don't know if I would use idiot. Maybe optimistic? He just put himself in danger for other people a lot. 2 days, huh? They're saying his ability to recover, it's probably taking a lot of his energy, right, to do that. So he probably just has to sleep to counter that, perhaps? Yeah, it was him, yeah, Been through, no, see, okay. I don't know if through a huge storm is the right way to say that. I feel like we have spotted a storm on the horizon and there's nowhere for us to go. That's how I feel about the story right now. I feel like I am adrift at sea and there's nothing but ocean around me and a storm's just rolling in and I'm just gonna have to weather it and hope for the best. Something huge had happened. Some people got incinerated. I remember. It's the kind of thing you remember when you've seen it. Ooh, are they giving out the information? I mean, he did say, Uruk was I'm going to make sure that this species can continue to grow and populate and they won't be as rare anymore, so the gems won't be as rare anymore. And I like how it's also an information thing. It's not when that happens sometime in the future, because obviously it's going to take some time to repopulate a entire species, but it's also an informational attack as well, because they can just give out that information now and still have an impact. Ooh, and they had the lighthouse that they're working with, because we had before where Uruk was talking about the lighthouses. We had him mentioning Lady Yuri, who also we saw at the very beginning of the season was talking to someone who was also had one of those opera houses, right? So they can probably get information out really quickly. Oh, that's right. The Yoon family control the floor that has these Zigana, the specific species. So they were probably the ones that were controlling the population, which probably also because we had the flower, right, which is the pink flower that has the gem, which is also the pink flower is the symbol of the Yoon family. So it's probably a huge part of how they keep their fortune and power that's just been eradicated now. I didn't even think of that. I wasn't thinking about the ramifications of that action. I was too consumed by the whole Uruk showing up thing. Okay, epilogue. Who's saying it? Okay, it's being said to Wangnan? Okay. I was could go either way with this one. So he's only saying this because he knows that Bomb's going to sacrifice himself to protect his friends now, right? Because we had in the last one where he obviously put himself in danger to help Misang, which is the first time he's put himself in physical danger to help one of these new teammates that he has. So I feel the connections are being made that he's gonna act the same way towards them as he would with his previous teammates, which is a danger to Bomb, and they need him. He's very important to Foog, that they need him alive and in good health so that they can use him to go up against Jahat, right? So I feel that's where the concern is, and not so much being like, you don't need to be a part of this. He's not gonna. Wangnan has this whole like savior thing going on. See, the same thing too of like, I feel like in a different context, saying I wanted Violet to make friends might seem like sweet, but I feel like in this one, it's a manipulation tactic because we know that they're using Bomb's friends as like leverage, blackmail basically, to convince him to work with them, and they're threatening his friends to as that leverage. So I feel like the more friends he has, the more leverage they have. Maybe I'm just too suspicious, but I feel like it's justified in this instance. Oof, the deflection though. But also Wangnan's not going anywhere. He's decided that he's going to help Bomb protect his friends, so you shouldn't smoke. I feel like that's like not the worst thing he's probably ever done, but also it's like a reflex, okay? I can't help it. Did we all go out shopping together? It was a team effort. Oh no, we broke the lighthouse. And I guess they didn't take Goseng with them. I didn't know you could break a lighthouse. And that it would be like because they're talking about how much is the lighthouse that you have to like replace it. I thought it'd be more like more entwined with like their Shinsu, like more of a manifestation of it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. It's entirely possible. I think they're just continuing to bicker like over Wangnan. Okay, so it's kind of like I'm not gonna remember it, but the orb that helps them translate stuff. I like how I'm very technical with the way that I remember how the magic system works. Okay, so it's more of a like an item to like channel their Shinsu through. And like, I'm assuming the more money you have, the nicer one you can get, which probably boosts your power a little bit. Probably not as much as like talent with Shinsu would, but it probably has some perks like built into it. I like how they're just continuing over. And like, I don't know if it's intentional. Like, I don't know whether it's they're just bickering and they don't hear him, or if they're legitimately just continuing to bicker because they're like, we're not even going to like pretend to consider that we're not going to continue with the tower. I think there's like a straight up fight happening and like no one paying attention. Poor Wangnan. I mean, they are team sweet and sour. I feel like this is the sour part. The way that Teddy Bear is just like stuck in the middle of this and he's like, whatever, another day. That hip hop freak. I mean, don't let him hear you say that, but also I see it. I went Pokemon trainer, but hip hop also. The backwards hat and the shoes, he's just trying really hard for a look and it's not all pulling together. That's all I'm saying. Now, Ockraptor, I know I'm biased because his aesthetic is a little bit more my style, but he pulls together a look. Discount Eminem. Oh my god, I see it. I didn't make that connection. I see it though. I'm not gonna be able to unsee it now. Do they all know that now about Bomb having friends and protecting them? I knew that they weren't gonna go anywhere. I mean, they've bonded, near-death experiences and all, but also they all kind of had certain reactions when they found out that Bomb was Foog anyway. So I feel like everyone on this team is kind of an outlier anyway, and I feel like they're coming together into a team of like people who don't really fit into the normal system of the tower anyway. They fit together in that they don't fit somewhere else. We're having the sweet moment now. We had some sour with them bickering and now we're getting into our feelings. You having a moment? I mean, I feel like part of it might be difficulties with her family as a result of what Uruk is doing now. But also it could be that she didn't know until this moment what was going on. Because I feel like she probably doesn't know the inner workings of like how her family works. I'm assuming that one, she's really young, and two, that's like not really her place, I guess. So I feel like she might not have known until that moment what was going on. And I feel like that'd be hard to think about, right? Like, I know she already has some strained relationships with her family anyway, but then to kind of be demystified about some things about how your family works, or like the thing that you've profited off of, right? Like if you've not only like profited in terms of like money, which it is in this case, but like profited off of in terms of your lifestyle, your education, the things that you've had access to, all of that can make you feel gross if you feel like you've benefited because of direct suffering to something else, right? I don't know if this is the time. She does tend to catch on fire when you push her around. I feel like a heart-to-heart may be worth some time, but also she does flamethrower people, so like tread with caution. True. Yeah, their response to it was, we will give someone a bunch of money to get the baby back, and not to deny it, to reconcile in some way, to like save face. That didn't seem like the interest at all, which is also kind of strange to me because the Yoon family, right, from what people have told me, don't like men, so I'm assuming it's women in power. There's something very detached about that. Like there's a baby that has been kidnapped, but also a mother that has been denied the ability to have children. And then there are these women in power that are making that happen. Not that all women have to be maternal in some way, but it would at least be an easy angle to go at this. Like if you're gonna try and apologize or save face in this situation, I feel like you could lean into that a lot more. And that's true. She was proud of her family. I don't know if proud is the right word, actually. I feel like she just used it as like a way of having power, right? Like she wanted to feel like she had some kind of control, and the way to do that was throw her family name around, which I guess now is tainted. Like that's not going to get her the same amount of respect or privilege that it did in the past. Okay. I mean, I guess if the leader of the Yoon family like doesn't have kids is at least some way of coloring that, but there are other members of the family though. Not that it's like by blood or that necessarily means that they're like they take care of each other in like a way that you would think of a family outside of the context of like the great families and stuff. But I don't know, maybe that is part of it though. Maybe it's like the control. It's not so much wanting to have like a family in the way that like I would kind of normally think of a family, and it's more about how do you control people. And I guess it is a form of control to like controlling a species, right? Controlling a creature, being able to like reproduce, like isolating it. It's controlling like that creature, but it's also controlling a resource, right? Because it's making the gems more scarce. So those are two forms of having a really strong control over something. Especially too, since like she has like the gem. I don't know if it's like actually the gem or if it's just like a representation of it. I'm assuming it probably is actually one of the gems, is like a show of wealth and authority and stuff, and she like has one, and now that she knows where it came from and what the price of it was, like not in a money sense, but the price in terms of it being directly connected to how this creature takes care of its young. Oh, make things right. I was like, why are we hunting somebody down? I just like assumed she would like go to violence. Not that I've seen anything necessarily to justify that. It's just like Foog members. I'm assuming that we're going to escalate into some kind of vengeance. That response though. Is it though? Would the elite try to make things right? That's not what I've seen. Just a personal opinion on that one. Oh, we just gotta put like a little dig at the end that she can't cook. Look, she tried. So there's that. I feel like it's also important to have that comment of like, I would do what was right, coming from someone who's a Foog member, and saying, isn't that what the elite would do? Because like the Foog are like in opposition to the great families in Jihad. So already making that connection of like, well, I would make things right. What would the elite do? What would the great families do? And Yoon already knows, like, in this context, they wouldn't try to make it right. They would try to just, like, move on and cover it up. Oh, he'll be fine. He just needs a minute. I bet you, like, Misang also feels bad because she probably feels some fault with it because he got hurt to help her. So it's not your fault. You didn't ask to get attacked, so... Oh, I feel like that was also good though, to have like, I feel like Yoon's the kind of person who like I said, like she's kind of fiery, if you can excuse the pun for a second. She definitely is, in the fact that her emotions can kind of get the best of her. And in that case, it was her feeling like guilt or shame or disappointment, like all of these things, and staying in this dark room and kind of letting those feelings take over her. You know, her feelings have taken over her before, but not in a way that made her like stagnant, whereas this feeling of anger and frustration is something that is more active, right? I say this as someone who has definitely used anger as a way of feeling, again, like control and stuff. Anger is a active emotion. It feels like you're doing something, even if it's just like wrecking stuff around you. It feels powerful, which is why it's something that people use in a defensive way. And I feel like that's kind of, in this case, a push that she kind of needed, but like a measured push, as opposed to like letting that rage like take over. I think it's one that's channeled a little bit better than just kind of lashing out, right? I guess I should not use her family name, especially given current events. She did put her headband back on though. I feel like that's symbolic. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it's symbolic of her saying like, I'm going to do the right thing while still wearing the symbol of my family. Like, despite what people might think of my family, I'm going to make it so that this symbol doesn't mean something negative anymore. Noble, tad dramatic, but whatever works. I like how her way of starting is like, I will cook. That is the beginning of my epic quest to right the wrongs. My life is to cook. I don't know if anyone will be happy about that. I mean, she could get better, practice, maybe get some help. She knows what she did. Also the outfit, her fashion, top notch. Are we lurking on rooftops again? Because that was creepy. Candy? I mean, I get Wang on having candy. Instead of cigarettes, that's cute. Why would that be me though? Where I would be like, someone would tell me to get cigarettes and I would just be like, candy. Ooh, that look though. The like shadow, the way that it's almost like his, I don't know, like there's moments when Wangnan almost looks like he has like sharper teeth, which also has this feeling of like intimidation, right? Exactly. That's what I was kind of saying before. I'm like, I feel like they don't fit with anything, so they've come together, right? Because they don't fit into like the normal system of the tower. It means that they're probably going to do things differently anyway, regardless of whether or not there's all this other stuff going on with like Foog and great houses and all of that stuff. Plus, Teddy Bear has a secret, and I want to know. I want to know more about it. I like how it's like we're gonna do our own thing, and like I guess like Bomb will be there too or whatever. We've claimed him. He's ours now. I was gonna say, is the other one lurking that is just eyes at this moment? What are we sorry for? I don't like that either. Okay, so like, I feel like saying I'm gonna dine out should not be sinister, but like summoning someone with creepy glowing eyes in the shadows and then talking about dining out, I don't like it. I don't think I'm supposed to like it. Okay, next chapter. Are we gonna get a glimpse? I don't know if I want to know. I don't know, maybe it'll be like Uruk though, where I was like, not as intimidating as I thought. Hello? See, this is more intimidating. Interesting robe design, though. I don't know why I'm distracted by the fashion, this reaction, but I don't know, that's what we're going with now. Maybe it's a defense mechanism. Maybe I'm using it as a way to diffuse the tension. We've seen the ring before. Isn't that the one that Wangnan had? Master, okay. See, this too, like the use of the levels, but I also think it's interesting because Wangnan climbed up there, right? Which, you know, we have this like, at the moment there's these levels and there's this distance between them, which is like a show of respect. And we have, you know, like little things of showing that there is that imbalance of power. And then you have Wangnan who just like disregarded what was said to him, climbed up there, and then just like walked away. Wangnan's like, I do not care about there being any kind of shift in who has authority or power or whatever. He's like, I'm gonna just do my own thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Cricket. I'm like, that's Jihad ring, but we have the Foog design on the robe. But wouldn't he call Jihad Master if he was connected to Jihad as opposed to Foog? I feel like my suspicions are only growing. There's something else going on. I just don't know what it is yet. Just calling him a kid? Isn't he like super strong? Don't trust someone who's partly in shadow either. Been through this. Can't see someone's eyes, or they're like half shadow, half light. They're hiding something. He's partly in shadow too. Oh, I feel like all the gears in my brain are going off because I'm trying to pull in all the information. So, okay, Karaka, isn't he also one of the Slayer or whatever? Like, isn't he also someone who is trying for the same position as Bomb to kill Jihad? Okay, but help me out. His name, I don't remember it. He seems to be Team Bomb from what we've seen outwardly. Is he only pretending to show support for Bomb, but he's actually training Karaka? Jinsung, that's why. Jinsung. I wasn't gonna remember that because there are a bunch of names in Solo Leveling where people have the Jin syllable in it, and it's making my brain malfunction a little bit. Yeah, but like he was showing a lot of support for Bomb outwardly, but then we have all of these shadowy meetings with Karaka. Yeah, I knew I didn't trust him. I really don't trust him now. But we have a weapon, apparently? Yeah, like I know that he also had something to do with training Bomb because we had the moment with Hansung. We have a weapon. I find it interesting that we're seeing this for this panel, though. Like, it's almost like toxic waste in some way. I feel like there's some symbolism there. I mean, unless they're talking about the weapon as Bomb, could also be true. And he's like wondering why they aren't just like using that to their advantage already. I don't trust you, so I totally understand if Karaka doesn't trust you either. Du Yangs. Do I know that? I feel like I don't. Believers is interesting. I feel like there's a lot coming at me and I'm like hyper-focused now. I have to remember to like actually say what I'm thinking because otherwise I'm just squinting really hard. Okay, the elders. So it's more about like the hierarchy of Foog than like a separate thing. Because if it's just a translation thing, then also fair enough. See, this like, it's not screaming trust to me, you know? Because to me it looks like toxic waste, right? Like you get like the barrels that have like the waste material that you just like have to ship out of like factories and stuff like that. That's what it looks like. And then you have like this red in the background. I'm just saying there's some super villain vibes going on right now. You what? For Foog? He says it with a smile. Oh god, it got worse. I got more uncomfortable the more I scrolled. See, this is what I was saying before. The more friends he has, the more leverage they have. Maybe that was part of it too, that he was like, maybe if I try to push them away, manipulate them in a way that if I'm saying like, you don't need to be here, you shouldn't be here, it's only going to strengthen the resolve to stay, which means that they'll be able to manipulate them. And then they had to use something else with, I guess I should say Yua instead of Yoon. But they had to use a different way of manipulating her than saying like, you shouldn't go with Bomb, because probably if they said that to her, she would have just like agreed and like backed out. You know, like it would have gotten to her in a different way than saying like, shouldn't people who like are like the elite that should be respected, that are in this high position, shouldn't they do the right thing? Shouldn't they be something that you should be proud of? So they were using that tactic to make her want to stick around because she has something to prove now. See, everybody's got lots of things, like I'm saying, there's lots of pieces being moved around. I just don't know what the board is. I trust no one, except I was trying to think about it. I was gonna say for maybe Wangnan, but I was like, no, he had the ring. He's got some other stuff going on. I want to trust him, but he's got some secrets. Rock. I was like going down the list of characters. I'm like, wait, who can I definitely trust without a doubt? Rock. Do I love Bomb? Yes. Do I know if I can trust him without a doubt? There's that huge time skip and he's been doing some other stuff. He's like a really different person now. I don't know. And like Kun, obviously love him, but he's also Kun. You know what I'm talking about. Trust him without a doubt? I don't know about that one. I don't like this whole like, why do I feel like there's something more sinister behind dining? It's not just gonna be like, let's, I don't know, go to a nice restaurant. Ask what the specials are. I feel like it's gonna be something else. Ooh, so do we, I mean, interesting to say the mask. Wasn't sure if it was a mask or not, because obviously there are lots of different kinds of species in the tower. I mean, he did say that he trusted Jinsung though, so does that mean that Jinsung has seen him without the mask? Just curious. I don't know if that'll lead to anything, but I feel very tense. I'm like, I keep waiting for like my brain to be able to like put something fully together. How does he make a lollipop seem sinister though? I'm glad that he's not eating with the rest of them though, because I really don't want him anywhere near them. Like even more firmly now. Hello, creepy shadow. Just going behind his back. Oh, okay. Sure. Just add it to the list of things to worry about. It'll be fine. Oh, see, like we have like that dynamic too. So we have like Kuraka, who also has people who like respect him and do his bidding and stuff like that. So there's like these levels to it. And I almost feel like, I don't know, with this bit of information that he's not as trusting and obedient to Jinsung as he might seem like in front of him. Everybody's got their own angle. Like everybody's doing something for their own purposes. Ooh, the shift into light though. Ah, look at Teddy Bear's apron. I needed to diffuse the tension. Oh, she's like nurse mode now? That might be better. Okay, so everybody's filled in now. Cool. Not with that attitude, you're not gonna be able to help him. You got this. Kun's got a whole thing going on, so I wouldn't worry that much. Like he's like, it'll work out, don't worry about it. It's gonna be interesting when like all of the stuff going on with like Bomb's other friends and then this group like collide in some way, whether or not that's actually like being in the same place at the same time, or it's just like their plans like disrupting each other. Because I feel like that might happen. Are we facing off? What's going on? She is a guide. I guess she would have a bunch of information then about the floors. Ooh, I don't know. Do we want to do that? I feel like if Bomb wanted to track them down, he could have. Right? Like if he could have just asked. I feel like, have we considered what Bomb wants? Maybe? Also, like, again, I was just saying, like, when are their plans gonna clash with each other? Kun's got like a delicate thing going on, a spider web of plans, and I'm sure that he has like backups and stuff, but like maybe you showing up would ruin some things, and I'm just very protective, okay? I just don't know if this is the right course of action. All the little like slight digs though. Hwaryun's just like, let me just take you down a few pegs while I'm at it, offhandedly. See, I don't know that, I feel like there's just a ton of manipulation going on, like this is what they want. Because if they're all in one place, that's a lot easier to manage. I'm just saying, if you have all of the friends together, I don't know, I'm just saying like there has to be a reason that Bomb isn't with his friends. And maybe we should talk to him, maybe we should let him tell his own story. I know he's not the most talkative, and he might not want to talk about it, and that's totally fine. And I know he's kind of out of it from injuries, but like maybe we just wait and we talk to him. I just feel like this is a bad idea. I do feel like Wangnan is making himself part of this whole thing with Bomb. Like he's making it more of his problem because of what happened with Nya, right? Like I feel like he has something to prove, and he's also like gone through a lot of other stuff up to that point too. We know that he failed tests and was like it was his last chance, right, with that test when he first met Bomb and the other members. And I feel like he feels like he has so much to prove that he needs to do something impactful and positive and be kind of this hero character. And I feel like that's why he's making himself more involved than maybe he needs to be, is that he feels like he could just like swoop in and save the day. Maybe not in that kind of a, I don't know, simplified kind of way. Like, I feel like he doesn't quite know that that's what he's doing, but I think he has this need to prove himself in a way, and he wants to do it in a way that makes him seem heroic or like a savior and stuff like that. Come again? I knew he had secrets, but we just had to wait to get to them. No comment though, which makes me feel like it's true, which we knew that he had connections and like the ring from before. Again, maybe he has something to prove. Maybe it's kind of something like Yihua, where like it's something to prove, it's something to counter like family expectations, stuff that has happened in the past. I feel like Wangnan probably has some of that too. I think it's interesting the like imagery of the lollipops though, where it's like we had Jinsung actually eating the lollipop, we had Wangnan not eating it. It was kind of just sat there, and now we have Huashang holding it, right? Like playing with it. It's almost like temptation is what it makes me think. Like it's something sweet, something sugary. It's kind of a stand-in for like the cigarettes that were brought up before. Like it's addiction, it's temptation, it's this like craving, this need for this thing that even though it may not be the best for you, you still like are drawn to it. Just like an interesting story element. Okay, items, we've talked about that before. Pockets, that's what the orbs are called. The orbs of knowledge. Okay, are some of the friends there? Okay, why do I feel like we're talking about this? Because we're about to be part of the workshop battle. Or someone else is. One of Bomb's friends? Okay, so they're gonna be in the battle? At least some of them? He's awake though? Yay? Maybe? Ah, see? More stuff about the prince. So we had Prince of Jihad before, and then we had, Prince of the Red Light District with, Wangnan? Lots of princes. Also Prince, like the character. Who I'm assuming isn't directly related to the prince imagery. Are we going back to other friends? Is it Shibitsu? I know that purple tracksuit. 30th floor though. It totally is. I'm so happy to see him. Also Kun. Hello. I mean, good to know his team is still chaotic. The cockiness though, we love to see it. I like how there's fighting on both sides. There's like Kun's team that are like playing basketball and like literally stepping on each other, and there's all of this chaos happening with Shibitsu's team. Ooh, it's all, I'm assuming that they're all gonna meet there then. There's gonna be like Shibitsu's team, Kun's team, and then I guess now Wangnan and Bomb and friends. I'm so excited. I just want to get the gang back together. Ooh, I don't want them to fight each other, but I do want to see them all together. Oh, it's gonna be it, isn't it? I am hype. I feel like it's gonna be kind of like a, I don't know, it's gonna feel kind of tournament arc-esque, which can go either way. It's either incredibly hype or it's kind of weak. Go either way. I feel hype at the moment though. Oh, I'm so excited. I feel like my brain is malfunctioning a little bit because I'm just like too excited. Okay, I am so incredibly excited for this like workshop battle thing. Not only does it sound cool in terms of like, I said it sounds like a tournament art kind of thing, but also they get like special items at the end, which I think is also a cool opportunity, not only to power up, but also to just like see some new cool items that they're able to use and what kind of ways that they can push their abilities, and also where everyone's at. It's gonna be on the 30th floor, which is a really far away from the first floor. So getting to see where everyone's at once they're there to kind of reconnect with everyone, but also to reconnect with everyone, like getting to see Shibitsu, I'm just like, I'm all smiles. I like freaked out when we were just like, his voice was just over the like pocket before. So now that I actually get to see him, a little glimpse of Anak and Dorsey, her too. So getting, you know, like I said, like the gang back together, the team back together. Not really a team, I guess, because they'll be kind of competing with each other. But to see like everyone back in the same place, we're gonna have like Sweet and Sour team meeting up. That'll be interesting to see some of the personalities and how they'll mix together. We haven't really seen a lot of Kun's team either, like their personalities and how they kind of mesh together. So it'll be interesting to see like more of them and their ability to kind of, I don't know, interact with other people and what their vibe is, I guess. So I'm just so excited. I just want to see everybody together. Now that it's been a while since we've seen the characters from like season 1 like all together. We haven't really seen much of them at all. Like there are some characters we haven't checked in with, like Hots and stuff. So getting to see some more of the characters in general, but then getting to see them together, it's been a while. But also I just want to see like the characters from this season, which I've also started to like get attached to and like bond with these characters that I already bond with, just like together, all the goodness. I just want to see Rock and Teddy Bear together because I feel like that is my dream. That's my dream now because that's all I could ever wish for. It's just my two gentle giants together in one place, not fighting each other, just being friends. I will also accept Chibi Rock because I miss him and he's cute. So I am so incredibly excited for the next part of this story with the workshop battle thing that is going to be going on, and I feel like I'm just going to be like too excited to really get into the story, even though I'm going to remember all the things that went down with Jinsung because I got my eye on him. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so miss next time I post a Tower of God reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!